the last Sunday in January already. Mine is marching on, huh? I'm still singing Christmas songs. I had one come out of me this morning, and I thought, wait a minute, Gabe, Christmas is over. And then the next thought was, no, Christmas is coming, actually. Well, this month we have been playing with information of Ask and It Is Given. Abraham, Teachings of Abraham. Hicks is the part of the author. And our topic this morning is I will live in joy. And as I'm recognizing, this actually is a 5-Sunday month, which is longer than a lot of them are, usually they're 4. And yet there is so much information in this book that I haven't even touched on, literally, even though I've got 5 Sundays worth. So I'm thinking maybe we need to, add another month of Abraham to our schedule in this coming years. Would not surprise me, at least, because it seems like there's enough here to keep going. But I wanted to share with you what they have written here on page 127 and 128. So, because as I read it, I wrote on the handwriting, good summary. So I thought it would be nice to read this to you. So bear with me, it's just 2 minutes long. So now that you have made it this far in the book, you have been reminded of so many things that you have always known. You now remember that you are an extension of source energy and that you have come into your physical body, into this leading edge time-space reality for the purpose of joyously taking thought beyond that which it has been before. You now remember that you have a guidance system within you that helps you to know in every moment how much of your connection to that which is your source you are right now allowing. You now remember that the better you feel, the more you are in alignment with who you really are. And the worse you feel, the more you are disallowing that important connection. You now remember that there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have, and that you remember that if your dominant intention is to feel good, and that if you try to make the best of where you are, you must reach your natural state of joy. You now remember that you are free. In fact, you are so free that you could choose bondage. And that everything that comes to you is in response to the thoughts you are thinking. You now remember that whether you are thinking about your past, present, or future, you are offering a vibration that equals your point of attraction. You now remember that the law of attraction is always fair, and there is no injustice, for whatever is coming to you is doing so in response to the vibrations that you are offering due to the thoughts you are thinking. And most important, you now remember that well-being is the basis of your world, and that unless you are doing something that is disallowing it, then well-being is your experience. You may allow it or resist it, but only a stream of wellness, abundance, clarity, and all good things that you desire flows. And you now remember that there is no dark switch. There is no source of evil or source of sickness or lack. You may allow or you may resist well-being, but everything that happens to you is all your doing. There you go. What do you think of that? Oh, I can just walk away now. Well, page 127. 127 and 128. And it's the thing that is interesting is the fact that our well-being, what we truly are, our state, is that natural flow of all goodness, of appreciation, of love, of joy. That's what we are, truly. And when we go within ourselves, we know that. We truly know that. And all of this other stuff that comes up are just points along the way that we just make up, have play with them. Sometimes some of us are really into drama. You know? But we are always free to either allow this flow to happen or to resist it, to shut it off, to become tense, to become unaware, literally, consciously unaware of our truth. So last week, I told you that there are several processes in this book that they give you so that helps you move your vibrational energy up the ladder, so to speak. And that she gave this list of 22 things, 22 emotions that we experience in life. And because of our patterns and our habits and our history, we each have a certain set point that we're comfortable with. And I wanted to remind you of what those are once again, because I went over them last week. Some of you weren't here, and it's always new. Even if you weren't here last week, maybe you didn't hear it in a different way, you'll hear it different today. So the lowest one is number 22, starts out with fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. And when you're there, you're not happy. You don't feel it. So then you move up to number 21, insecurity, guilt, and unworthiness. And then up another one to jealousy. Up another one to hatred and rage. Wouldn't you think that would be like one of the lowest? Yeah, but that's more up. Coming up from there is revenge, anger. Then we move up to discouragement, blame, moving up to worry, moving up to doubt, moving up to disappointment, moving up to overwhelmment, stress, moving up to frustration, irritation, and impatience. I think I've been on that one a few times. 9 is pessimism, 8 is boredom, 7 is contentment. Here we go. Now we have hopefulness, 5 is optimism, 4 is positive expectation and belief, 3, enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness. Yay! Yay! 2 is passion, and 1, joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. Top on the scale. All right. So she gives us all of these different processes that we can play with to help us move up wherever we are on this scale where our set point is. We can take it and move up to the next one. So last week I shared with you the rampage of appreciation. So that wherever we are, we can look around and we can see what it is that we appreciate. Because appreciation and love are one and the same vibration. So what is it that I love? What is it I appreciate right here? And that's really cool. So this one is process number 11 that I'm going to share with you. And it's called segment intending. Segment intending is where she says it's easier to create an improved future experience than to change a current experience. It's easier to change a future experience than it is a current experience. So what we're doing, the intention of this is to put some energy out intending for what the future is going to be. And it talks about the fact that we live our lives in segments. There's always, you're doing something, and then what happens? You're doing something else, and then you're doing something else, and then you're doing something else, right? Those are those segments of time. And so she, as an example, she says, so you're doing the dishes, and the phone rings. So that is a change of segment. You're changing what you're doing and going to something else. And the other examples are, I'm going to get in my car and go somewhere. Once I'm entering in my car, this is a new segment. You're sitting down to balance your checkbook. That's a new segment. You are in line in the grocery store. You're online shopping. You're doing all these different elements of life. So here's the thing. What you're doing here in this segmenting is you are intending what you want to have happen. You are putting out an expectancy of what you want to have happen. Like say I'm washing the dishes and the phone rings. Now, I could think, oh man, it's probably some telemarketer thing that, I don't want to hear anyway. I could have that choice. Or it could be, you know what? It could be Publishers Clearinghouse. It could be, the friend of mine that I've been just thinking of. It could be somebody that I left a message for and I'm trusting they're going to get back to me. So whatever it is that we want, that we desire, that's what we're putting out. So recognize if you're in the habit of thinking about what you don't want, that's not what we're doing here. We are putting out what it is that we do want. What is it that I expect? What is it that I desire? Excuse me. And you can do this with anything. Okay, like say I'm going to sit down and I'm going to balance my checkbook. There's all sorts of different expectations that I could bring on that, couldn't there? And it's going to be better. So what I can do is I'm going to feel so much better when I know that all my numbers are in balance and that I've got plenty of money left over to pay everything that needs to be paid or buy whatever I want to buy. Putting out that intention of what we want in the next segment that's coming up. I'm getting in my car and going wherever. And now here, so you can blend them, because remember we could do the rampage of appreciation. Because when I get in my car, I go, yes, I'm so grateful that I stopped and I have a full tank of gas now. Thank you, God, that I got that taken care of, so that now where I'm going, I've got plenty of gas, and I know that my ride is with ease and grace, and that everything flows, and if there's a red light, that's okay, because then I'm just going to stop. And so you have setting these intentions for what you want to have come up in this next segment. Now that is another very, very, very important element of this whole thing, because what she talks about, and I totally understand this, we get so involved in thinking about I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do that, and that's going to happen. You can get crazy. You can get overwhelmment comes. What number was overwhelmment anyway? That was number 11. That's smack down in the middle. So the important thing is to recognize that I'm just going to think about the very next thing that's coming up on my schedule. The very next thing. I don't need to think about all of the other things that are going to happen at 3 o'clock and at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll think about those right before they happen. You see? And it keeps us, where does it keep us? It keeps us in the present moment, but just a skosh with the anticipation that the next moment is going to be wonderful. Now, is that hard to do? No. Good answer. This moment is wonderful. Think about this though. Whatever you're doing, recognize whenever you change gears to do something new, put your intention out there as to how you would like it to be. Abraham says, most of you are so distracted by so much thought that you do not have an opportunity to develop any one thought to any great degree. The value of your intending, segment by segment, is that you do not try to chew on so much at any one time. You say, what is it that I want now? If you want many things all at the same time, it adds confusion. But when you focus upon the specifics of what you want in any particular moment, you bring clarity and power to your creation. Right? We are powerful creators. That was one of the talks earlier in this month. We are all powerful creators. Actually, Ernest Holmes says we don't create anything. We are using the power that has already created everything. And that we are going with the flow on it. We are allowing it, we're the channel, we're the vessel, allowing it to flow through us, hopefully unrestricted. So and you can do this at every point of the day. When you wake up in the morning, first thing you wake up, how are you going to set your intention? That old joke, you wake up and you say, either you say, good God, it's morning. Or you say, oh God, it's morning. It's all in a matter of your intention, your attitude, your tone of voice, what you expect, right? And then you can do it with every element that so you wake up, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you wake up? I wake up, I open my eyes and go, oh, thank you. I'm still here, this is good. And then I have to go back. And I don't want to get out of bed sometimes because it's cold. I'd rather stay there, but then nature has its call, and so I say, I'm going to have perfect illumination. And so whatever the next thing is, know that you're anticipating that. So our talk this morning is entitled, I Will Live in Joy. And it's interesting if you play with those words, I will live in joy. The willing is our speaking the word, our conviction that I will live in joy. But it's not to the point that's saying I'm putting it off, like it's in the future. You see that you can almost think of it that way. Oh, I will live in joy one day. We're not talking about that part. We're saying, I will live in joy now. There's a lot of things that happen in this life that we don't know how that happened to me. Really? I drew that to me? How did that happen? I don't know. I'm not that happy with it either, I'm supposed to be happy with everything? No. We aren't supposed to be happy with everything in our lives. What Abraham says is, we're not suggesting that you look at something that you do not like and tell yourself that you like it. We are suggesting that you stop looking at it and choose to look at something else that you do like. Simple, but very profound. It's exactly like what Jesus told us about turning the other cheek. Is you turn your perspective and you see from another view. Don't keep looking at something that you don't like and trying to say you like it or thinking it's going to change. Think about something else. Look at something else. Because what we focus on, what we look at, what we have in our entertain in our thoughts and our thinking comes out in our feelings, and it increases. Law of attraction. That's really what it's all about. So Wayne Dyer says, feeling good matters. It's a sure sign you're on what Abraham calls a high-flying disc, as opposed to the low-flying disc of negative emotions and self-destructive behavior. This is Wayne Dyer. I have always wanted to feel good. It's reflected in the telephone message I have had for many years. The telephone message says, you have reached Wayne Dyer, and I want to feel good. So, if your message is designed to do anything other than that, you have reached the wrong number. Please, hang up and call Dr. Phil. Or someone else who wants to hear bad news. And then he goes on to say, here's some of the ways I find myself, to remind myself to reach for good feeling thoughts. Number one, this is Wayne Dyer. I have a sign on my bedpost that says, good things are going to happen. And I see it every morning and every night. Last thing, first thing, good things are going to happen. He says, to help others focus on feeling good, I've learned to say, hello, tell me something good, instead of, how are you? Tell me something good. What's the good word? I remember people saying that to me. What's the good word? Tell me something good. And then the last one he says is, with my luck, things are going to work out great. With my luck, things are going to work out great. Don't things always work out anyway? No matter how much we worry about them or we're concerned about them or whatever, eventually they all work out. Why not agree with it and accept it from the beginning instead of fighting it, instead of resisting it? I was so reminded of Emerson's quote that he has said, let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits. Let us take our bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circuits. Our bloated nothingness, that ego sense that says I'm separate, that I'm less than, or that I'm right and you're wrong, and all this judgment. If we can just let that go and allow us to flow. I thought I would end this morning with asking you to bring back out your program and look at the thought for the week. And let's say that heart and gold together. Everybody got that out? You got it. Okay. Ready? I choose to think happy thoughts and live in joy. The light of the divine is my life now. I am honored and grateful to be the vessel through which love flows, unrestricted, with ease and grace. And so it is. So there. Go there. Namaste.